Nick Woodman was almost heralded to be the one behind a GoPro legendary success story until it was cut short by reality. You might have seen GoPro's rise to popularity in the early years of 2010s when the camcorder industry was undergoing a transformational technology upgrade. But what happened to GoPro's camcorders? In this video, we will be talking about how and why GoPro was founded, how it rose to prominence, and what led to its decline. It all started with Nick Woodman's surfing trip to Australia and Indonesia, where he tried to strap a camera to his wrist using a rubber band. Obviously, that didn't go very well, but it made him realize that amateur sports enthusiasts did not have many options to film high-quality action videos of their adventures. This was because the affordable cameras could not be placed very close to the action, and the waterproof alternatives were too expensive. This gave Nick an idea to start building bands that would help amateur sports enthusiasts attach cameras to their bodies. Although the bands were not as successful initially, Nick would go on to build cheap camcorders that came with bands pre-attached to them. He was helped by his father, co-founder of investment bank Robertson Stephens, who provided $200,000 of seed money to fund Nick's venture. He even borrowed a sewing machine from his mother to work on the initial designs of the band. The first device was launched in 2004. This was a 35mm reusable device that was manufactured for just $3. This meant that the company could make a lot of money selling them for $30 and helped them attain a turnover of $350,000. Although initially successful in dominating a niche, the device was yet to go viral. In 2006, the company launched its first all-digital digital hero, and by the following year, it had upgraded its technology to support unlimited audio and video capacity. At this time, the market was undergoing an extraordinary technological transformation, and the company's success emanated mostly from its successful bid to leverage this change. As traditional direct competitors failed, GoPro expanded its market share and by 2010 had expanded its top line to $64 million. This meant that the company had grown its top line by 183 folds in 6 years. By 2012, the company had captured more than 1/5 of the market share in camcorder shipments across the country, an extraordinary feat in a highly competitive industry. The excitement that surrounded GoPro's rise shouldn't come as a surprise then. In fact, this was a time when its founder was being compared to Steve Jobs. Videos captured through GoPro devices offered a unique genre that was quickly becoming popular through YouTube. The subsequent meteoric rise in popularity of the social media platforms also contributed substantially to the phenomenon that GoPro's devices became. More and more people wanted to capture their adventures and even daily activities from this captivating new perspective that GoPro offered. At the time, Nick attributed the company's success to a virtuous cycle where people were inspired by the videos that they saw online to go buy GoPro cameras, which in turn increased the number of videos being shot and posted online. He saw this as an organic and free advertising channel that the company should be able to leverage by transforming into a media company. Why? He figured that if amateur videos shot by users could play such a huge role in driving sales for the company's cameras, professionally produced films and movies would surely take the demand for his cameras through the roof. But was it a prudent decision, and would it pan out the way Nick imagined it would? Stay tuned to find out, as we're going to deep dive into that. If you like watching videos on interesting topics like this one, take a moment to subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay connected. By 2014, the company had decided to go public. The IPO and the following stock market rally valued the company at a whopping $15 billion. However, this might have been the beginning to an end. Going into the IPO, there was this growing realization that the company's products were easily replicable, opening doors to intense competition. However, the proponents and stock market bulls that pushed the company and its founders to their financial peak argued that the company had a mammoth media potential. Therefore, the investors that believed in the company were convinced to purchase stakes did so largely due to this hyped media potential. The investors' expectations and the fact that media companies are valued at higher multiples than hardware companies pushed the management into uncharted territory. The company started investing millions of dollars into developing its own online platform for professional documentary-like videos and films that it hoped would drive the sales of its devices further up, while also creating a new revenue stream for the company. Woodman and others in management were hardly reluctant passengers in this pursuit, however, with Nick telling GoPro's creative director Bradford Schmidt that they were always going to wonder why they did not pursue such an opportunity if they decided not to. After its IPO, the company focused all of its resources on this envisioned transformation into a media company. It hired more than 100 people for this entertainment business, including a former CBS executive to run it. In the process, however, it took its eye off the ball and its products started suffering. In 2015, when the company launched its Hero 4 Session, a small device with no screen and a single button, Nick decided to market it as a premium product, pricing it at $399. However, the company was forced to cut its price in half within months after the product failed to garner any sort of encouraging reception that the company had hoped for. By 2016, GoPro had acquired several small software enterprises to develop software that would make it easier for users to edit and upload the videos captured on GoPro devices. The company had also been working on several new products, including its Karma drone, which it hoped would help GoPro penetrate an exponentially growing market and reestablish its brand image in the market and among its users. But the launch of its drone was almost as catastrophic as some of its other products, which were receiving negative feedback related to product quality and glitches. The Karma drone faced similar issues with many devices crashing, and the company was forced to recall all of its shipments immediately amid safety concerns. The company, already suffering from image problems among investors and users alike, took a series of hits that almost permanently handicapped its ability to bounce back. Founder Nick Woodman now reckons that the biggest reason for all these failures was, perhaps, that the company was trying to do a lot of things simultaneously. The production and engineering departments were under immense pressures to meet deadlines as the management tried desperately to dig itself out of a hole. Something had to give, and in 2017, the company announced layoffs, cutting its human resource by more than 25% in a single year. The management wasn't insulated either, with more than 40% of the people at VP level or above leaving the company for good. With all these failures to transform into a media company and make headways into new markets, the company was forced back to the drawing board. It decided to simplify operations, scrapping plans for its entertainment division and focusing on rebuilding its image for its original line of products. Since its IPO, the company has lost almost 75% of its value and 90% of its value from its peak. At one point, the company's shares traded as penny stocks below $5, and today they trade slightly above the $5 benchmark. But can the company bounce back from its astonishing decline and build up to fulfilling its promise? Its founder and CEO, Nick Woodman, thinks so. Although he knows that this would take time and patience on the company's part, as it's no easy feat to regain lost credibility. However, he thinks it can be done by focusing on product quality and GoPro's original audience of sports enthusiasts and vloggers. The company's biggest mistake, he reckons, was focusing too much on the future and losing its competitive edge in the existing product line. He thinks the company buckled to the pressure of investors' expectations after going public and responded by trying to diversify too soon and too much. Many of his surfing buddies who had joined him early on have retired after the IPO, returning to their boards with more money than before. And although Nick admits his envious outlook on their freedom and adventures, he has no intentions of following them into retirement. In fact, he thinks he's doing what he's supposed to, fulfilling a purpose, trying to turn around a company that he had envisioned and created. Of course, the company faces new challenges today. The market that GoPro launched its products to and became a success story in has transformed fundamentally. Smartphone cameras have undergone an immense technological advancement which was, perhaps, almost unimaginable in the early 2000s or even early 2010s. However, Nick argues that GoPro does not compete with smartphones. He feels that their products are substantially differentiated in offering new and unique opportunities for smartphone users by providing cameras that are not attached to their phones. Do you agree? Would you prefer an untethered GoPro camera over a smartphone camera to capture pictures and videos on vacation? Nick Woodman remains committed to reinventing the future of his company. He wants to reestablish the brand image his company once had and redirect the company onto the growth trajectory it once had. His idea may not be unique anymore, with intense direct competition and indirect competition from smart gadgets that have since flooded the markets, but Nick's resolve is unwavering. That doesn't mean he hasn't learned his lessons. He acknowledges the mistakes he made in getting distracted by new opportunities and taking his eye off the ball. Although he had once bet heavily on the company's transformation into a media company, he now realizes that, perhaps, simpler is better. He wants to focus on the core product and try improving its utility to core customers. But can the company deal with all of the challenges and reinvent itself? Can it continue to have a core mission? Can it continue to differentiate its products enough to penetrate the market it once dominated? Of course, it's not all bad, and the company has managed to retain some part of its loyal customer base even though all these years of bad press. Although it remains to be seen how the company can leverage that into growing its market share in a highly competitive industry. What do you think? Have you ever bought a GoPro camcorder? How was your experience? If not, why haven't you considered these devices? Let us know in the comments. If you haven't already subscribed to our channel, now would be a good time to do that. Remember to press the bell icon to receive notifications every time we post a new video. Let us know in the comments if you have any suggestions for us. See you next time.